Hey guys, HDvee here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got some really interesting things to go over. We have reports of some Pokemon news next week which could potentially be the Pokemon Home update details that we have been waiting for, and then we have a few other bits and bobs to go over as well. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, so if you're excited for the video, as always, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes, it really helps out. Leave a comment with your thoughts on anything we cover in today's video. Subscribe if you're brand new, ring the notification bell. With all of that out of the way though, let's get into the video and I really hope that you enjoy. So, starting things off, let's take a look at the new potential news that we will be getting next week. It was tweeted out by Eclipse saying we'll be getting Pokemon news next week. Now, Eclipse is quite an interesting character on Twitter. I don't know if they act as an insider or someone that knows information, but they've got things right in the past and they've got things wrong in the past, so you definitely have to take their tweets with a massive grain of salt. But this is the first kind of indication that we are going to be getting something next week, and with the next thing that we're expecting to see in regards to Pokemon is the Pokemon Home update. I don't think they would give us some DLC news this early on, like we just got that revealed last month. I know we're going to be in April next month, but I don't think they're going to drop more information. If they do, it would probably be just like the release dates or something of the first DLC, which would be the Teal Mask. Because at this point, when the Sword and Shield DLC was announced, we knew that the Isle of Armor was coming out in like June. We didn't know the Crown Tundra date, but obviously with the DLC this time around, we don't know either of the release dates. We've just had like a broad kind of idea. So I don't think it'd be anything DLC wise. So really the only other thing that it could potentially be is the Pokemon Home update. Again, at the same time, it could be something boring like Pokemon Sleep. Like, I'm not ruling that out at all, because that is something else that they are bringing out this year, and it seems to be something they're quite excited about as well, just because of the sheer amount of the Pokemon Presents that Pokemon Sleep took. But in my opinion, it would have to be Pokemon Home. It's early 2023, it's in spring, and those are the two things that we know about the Pokemon Home update. So again, take this with a massive grain of salt. I don't want to come across as I'm saying like this is definitely going to happen, because I don't know. I'm just following the Eclipse's tweet here and just saying what it could potentially be. But Eclipse is saying we'll be getting some Pokemon news next week. The only thing that's interesting about this though is that Hunter replies saying, I doubt it would be anything important or big, and then he says me too. I felt like if he knew that we was going to get something next week, he would kind of have an idea of what it is. So he himself apparently doesn't even know. Apparently someone has just told him that we're getting Pokemon news next week. I don't know if it's a legitimate source or whatever, but either way, just watch out for next week. I don't know if it's going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever, but we'll have to wait and see what he says or what happens next week. We also have Soul Silverheart talking about this as well, kind of coming to the same conclusion as me, saying if true, quote retweeting Eclipse's tweet about getting Pokemon news next week. He says, if true, I imagine a home Scarlet and Violet integration announcement with how Pokemon Bank works now too, then sleep news, and that's it. You also have to realize that, yeah, Pokemon Bank has just had that kind of update. It's free now, and it doesn't really change with how to use Pokemon Bank. So I don't really know what kind of announcement they'd have to make about that, because it's the exact same way to kind of take Pokemon from Pokemon Bank into Pokemon Home. But yeah, they could mention it. They could mention Pokemon Sleep. I'm not expecting like a Pokemon Presents or anything. And with the announcement, I don't think the Scarlet and Violet update is going to be out next week. I think they're just going to announce it. I think they're just going to say, you know, exciting news, trainers, the Pokemon Home integration is happening on this date. So they might announce it next week, and then it might be the week after or something like that. I'm not expecting them to announce it and drop it on the same day. He then goes on to say, but if we let Copium take over, maybe an announcement of a Rayquaza raid to celebrate the new anime, maybe a tiny tease into the DLC, maybe a mythical. Now, Pokemon news that we know we're getting is the kind of, it's like I think it's the theme song that's happening next week for the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet anime. We're getting like these small little kind of videos about it. So that is Pokemon news that we are getting, but I'm pretty sure they're not talking about this when Eclipse does state that we're getting Pokemon news next week. So either way, fingers crossed that it is something to do with Pokemon Home. I mean, on another side of the coin, it could easily be Scarlet and Violet DLC stuff. It's very, very unlikely, because we just had the announcement for that. And like I say, if it is something to do with that, it might be the announcement of the release dates or something like that. But I'm hoping it's Pokemon Home update. We're in early 2023. We're in spring. It just all comes together. But again, Eclipse has got an interesting track record. Could be true, could be false. We'll have to wait and see. But again, just keep your eyes out. Of course, anything happens, we'll let you guys know. But obviously, yeah, just keep your eyes out for that. Next up, we also have a new mystery gift as well. Lechonk is going to be a new mystery gift. So a Pokemon this time. It was tweeted out by Pokebeach.com saying, Flying Terra-type Lechonk distribution promo card at GameStop. Then check out the full details. So if you go over to Pokebeach, this is basically a new mystery gift that is happening. It's only in GameStop though, unfortunately, but they say we can reveal GameStop will be giving away code cards to receive a Flying Terra-type Lechonk in Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. The codes will be handed out starting this Friday, March the 31st, so you can pick these up in 2 days to celebrate the launch of the Scarlet and Violet set. Of course, the Scarlet and Violet set is also coming out this Friday. The code can be redeemed over mystery gift until the 30th of June 2023. No purchase is necessary, so you can just go in and get this code, I imagine. And as we posted last week, GameStop will also be giving out a reverse holo Lechonk promo. It appears GameStop did not specify whether a $15 purchase is required to receive the promo. Some stores may require you to purchase $15 of Pokemon TCG merchandise, while other stores may give it out for free. In other countries, such as the UK, the Lechonk will be given out with a set logo in place of the GameStop stamp. It will still be a reverse holo despite the digital image below. So yeah, if you walk into GameStop this Friday, you will be able to pick up a reverse holo Lechonk promo card and a Lechonk mystery gift Flying Terra type. Again, it's a pretty cool mystery gift. If you're going to GameStop, you may as well get these anyway. And then in the UK, like I say, we can get the TCG card, but unfortunately Lechonk isn't going to be available for us, I don't think, or anywhere else really. I think it's just at the moment in America. We'll have to wait and see though. It's not the biggest mystery gift that you're missing out on. It's not like a legendary or something, so it's not anything to get like super upset about, but you never know, they might just make it available to everyone else at some point, just for the release of the Scarlet and Violet. I'm still hoping we get some sort of raid event for the Scarlet and Violet anime, and that could be the Shiny Rayquaza. Still kind of waiting out for that, but of course we'll have to wait and see. Next up, we have E3 news to go over, and if you're a fan of it, it's not great news. So E3 2023 is expected to be cancelled this week. So this was tweeted out by My Nintendo News saying ReedPop is apparently in crisis mode as their previously announced revamp of the annual E3 event in Los Angeles looks likely to be cancelled this week. The final nail in the coffin was the announcement this afternoon by Ubisoft that they will now hold their own Ubisoft Forward presentation, which will take place in LA on the 12th of June. The French developer and publisher had previously said that they were looking forward to attending E3 2023, but with all three major console manufacturers declining to take part, it seemed inevitable that Ubisoft would also do its own thing. It now seems very unlikely that E3 will come back. And this is Andy Robinson tweeting out saying it's often tough to separate the facts from the conjecture on E3, but unsurprisingly, I'm really not hearing good things. Would not be surprised if it's called off this week, but I hope it isn't. I feel so sorry for those behind it who did everything asked for them. So yeah, E3, which was once a massive gaming kind of convention, something to look forward to every single year. Since COVID, it has just not been itself, and it looks like we may actually be losing E3 for the foreseeable future, because if everyone's just going to keep dropping out of it every single year, it's got nothing to show. So yeah, E3, like I say, I always looked forward to it because you knew that all the big boys were there, you know, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo. But yeah, now that they are kind of just doing their own thing, it doesn't look like E3's looking good for the foreseeable future. And then finishing things off, we have a new theory to go over by Soul Silver, talking about Terrapagos, or Terrapagos, so however you pronounce it. They tweeted out saying, if the sphere that the Pokemon sits on guards is the actual disc Pokemon that Heath couldn't tell was alive or not, and is also the actual hidden treasure of Area Zero, I can totally see it being based off of, I'm going to get this wrong, Faberge's egg. These similarities are uncanny. These eggs are symbols of royalty and treasure, which is obviously wealth. They're adorned with gems. Most times they have crowns on top of them. They sometimes have a few animals encircling them. Look at this one with a dragon around it. And lastly, many of them open up to store or place an even greater treasure inside. I'm just saying. So again, we also have him here saying it's important to note that it might not be the hidden treasure and an actual Pokemon. It could just be a treasure based on the egg that Terrapagos is guarding. As I said in the big theory I attached to this, the treasure itself may not be living, but also still be the source of all of Area Zero. So an idea that I kind of had which I've been thinking about a little bit more lately, is that potentially if there is a new Pokemon in this kind of sphere that the Terrapagos is kind of guarding, I think it might have a potential like Manaphy kind of thing. So maybe Terrapagos, there's like multiple of them, and then they are guarding this sphere which the actual third legendary is inside. So maybe the third legendary creates all these little like mini Terrapagos, and they are like pre-forms of the big legendary, and we start seeing a bunch of them in Area Zero, and then the hidden treasure inside the sphere is the actual third legendary, because a lot of people are kind of undecided whether Terrapagos is the third legendary, and if it isn't, then, you know, there's going to be something in Area Zero that has to be. And yeah, so maybe there's just like a bunch of Terrapagos that are just kind of defending this sphere, and then that is what Heath was talking about. I didn't know if it was alive or dead, because Terrapagos looks very alive to me in the artwork and stuff. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. That's just kind of something I was thinking about. And Terrapagos can't evolve into the third legendary, but maybe, like I say, the third legendary can create them, because it kind of goes back to the whole imagination thing with Paradox Pokemon. You know, if they are created by imagination, maybe it is also this third legendary doing that as well. So maybe Terrapagos is like a Paradox form of it or something. You don't know, but it's just kind of an idea that I was playing around with. But either way, let me know your thoughts about that. Also, what do you think potentially could get revealed next week? Like I said, I don't want to get everybody's hopes up, because this is just one tweet to go off, but either way, it could mean something. We'll have to wait and see. But let me know your thoughts on that. Let me know your thoughts on everything else, and also the theory about the Terrapagos, multiple ones, and the third legendary, and also your thoughts on E3 potentially being cancelled for the foreseeable future. Subscribe if you're brand new, ring the notification bell. That's everything from me. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and until next time, peace.